everyone. This is Terlena Murphy from Force Multiplier Consulting. Today I'll be speaking with Tasha DeVent, owner of Allure Hair Salon. Join us as we talk to her about the things she learned about herself and her business. Hi Tasha, how are you today?
Hi Terlena, I'm great, thank you. And yourself?
Well, thank you for joining me today. Could you let us know exactly how you got started in your business?
How I got started in my business or the hairdressing business? Or just my business? Which one do you want?
Oh, please share. I want to hear about your business and the hair business because I'm thinking that we were just going to talk about more. Surprise me.
I'm sorry, I only have Allure, but the hairdressing business will come first, obviously, before I birthed Allure. I've always had a passion for doing hair from young. So I knew that that's something that I wanted to do as I got older. Trying to figure out to navigate to get that, to make it a career is where I had to figure out. So finishing my last year of high school, we did this program called Work Experience. And I had two teachers that were very instrumental in that program, and they rock. They're rock stars as far as I'm concerned. Because I was like, I don't know what I want to do. Yeah, I know I want to do hairdressing. They're like, okay, well, we can send you to a hair salon. So then it became like which hair salon at the time. So I came home, talked to my mom about it, and she prayed about it, and she said, the Lord said, Eden. Here we go. We go to Eden. I told my teachers, they set it up, and Eden said yes. So I get to Eden, and I meet the salon manager at the time, who was an English guy. He wore a tie every day to work, dressed up like, it was very, different, but he really knew his craft. I wouldn't have changed my experience with him for nothing. I mean, it was very, very hard, considering you think it's a real relaxed business, right? And it's not as relaxed as we think it is, because we're actually providing a service, right? Anyway, long story short, I go to Eden, I meet the owners of Eden, and they were very welcoming. And they were excited to have a Bermudian, come and join their team. So I started there as work experience from school, and then they offered me a job on Saturdays. And from Saturdays, it went to me finishing high school to offering me a full-time position. So that was great. So before I realized, I've always wanted to go to the UK to train for whatever I did. And I got the opportunity to go to the UK. I trained with a school called Toni and Guy, which is a world-renowned company, and training excellent. So I came back to Bermuda in 2003, became qualified. I went back to work at Eden. Of course, they welcomed me back with open arms. I worked with Eden until 2008. And that's when I was able to open up Allure. So Allure was always one of my dreams, to basically have my own salon. I knew I wanted to have it one day. How that was going to work, I didn't have a clue. But thank God that it did work out, that I was able to open up Allure. So that's where I am today. And that happened in 2008. And now we're in 2020. My goodness. Yeah, so that's basically my long, short story.
12 years in business.
12 years in business.
Wow. That's quite an accomplishment.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And I know that you moved from one space to another. So that was another dream you and I talked. So you had a business on Front Street. And while it was Front Street, it was below Front Street. So then your dream was to have something street level. And you opened—
My dream was always to have something street level. But before our recession kicked in, retail space in Bermuda were really, really hard to come around and come by. So basically you took what you can get. We incorporated in 2006. We didn't open until 2008. So we had to get all the logistics down, and finding location, outfitting, all of that. So 2008, we opened up. I hit the ground running, and I promise you, Terlena, I haven't stopped since.
I think it's beautiful. I just love hearing about how you went from being an apprentice, let's say, from
Eden.
Yes, and then going away to school, learning your craft, coming home,
Mhm.
gaining experience, and then launching your business.
Yep. So what I can appreciate is starting from the ground, literally from the ground up. I wouldn't trade in that experience for the world. Of course, when I was going through it, I'm like, now this, am I sure? But you get to appreciate it so much more, starting from the bottom to the top. So it's encouraging when I can tell my story to young girls that are just starting out. And I'm saying, I promise you, we started cleaning rollers and doing whatever the stylist had asked us to do, the lunch runs, all the donkey work, basically what you do to get yourself in the door. So I'm grateful that I did have that experience, and I had that because you can appreciate where I can appreciate where I am a heck of a lot more because of the back story that I have, the groundation work, I call it.
I love it. All these new
Mm-hmm.
terms I'm learning as I speak to individuals, and everyone has a story. And I wish more young people entering their career understood that people started somewhere, and it's not always glamorous.
It's not, I don't think it's ever glamorous, is it?
Yes, because they always see the end result. They see the person who's walking around in the business suit, or they have the corner office, or they have the nice car or clothes, but they don't
Yeah.
understand it might
Where
have
that,
started out in the back office in the mail room, or it
yep,
might have started like dipping ice cream at the ice cream shop while you paid for courses to get a degree in the interim, you know. So
absolutely.
it's a story behind a lot of
It's,
success stories. So
that's very true.
I appreciate you sharing yours. So I know you wear a few different hats. You know, you're the business owner, you're a mom, teacher, I guess, because you're homeschooling. But also, I know that you teach for the Bermuda College. What advice would you give to persons considering starting a business at this time?
At this time, like tomorrow, if they're going to open up, I would tell anybody that wants to open up a business, if you're passionate about it, I mean, really super uber passionate about it, go for it. You have to trust the process. You have to be willing to free fall. I mean, like open up and just be like, look, whatever, and just trust that if it's meant to be, it will be. I know that sounds like such a cliche, but it's really real. Like if it's meant to be, it'll absolutely be if you do the work behind it. Being a business owner, whether it be before the pandemic, before the recession, when everything was great, you have to be willing to work extremely hard. I mean, harder than you've ever worked before. Yes, it sounds great. Doors come with perks. However, before you can get those perks, you have to establish the business, establish yourself, make sure that you are credible, make sure your business is something that's going to be sustainable, whatever that looks like to you, or whatever that looks like for your business model, and getting the right people to network with is very, very important. And believing in whatever you want to do. You have to believe in it first. If you don't, I don't know. And being mindful of who you share your dream with, because you never know what can possibly happen when you do say whatever you say to whoever. As long as you got a good support system behind you, whether that be family or friends, whatever it is, you have to have someone that's going to encourage you to say that, you know what, you can do it. It's going to be nights where you're like, did I do the right thing? And like I said, trust in the process really, really, it pays off. You stick to the wickets and the runs definitely will come.
So another question. Again, you're molding young, not necessarily young. You might have the person who's changing careers in your class. For the person who's seeking employment right now, what advice would you give them? Because it is an employer's market. I've been saying this in every interview that I've been in. It is an employer's market, similar to the real estate trend where it's a buyer's market or it's a seller's market. It's an employer's market.
For anyone that's seeking employment right now in the climate that we're in, I wouldn't say to discount yourself. Let's not discount ourselves, no matter what it is that you're going to be doing. Whether you show up to wash someone's dishes or you show up to clean somewhere, just know that right now, just because it is an employer's market, it doesn't make you any less than what you are. And it doesn't mean that this opportunity right now cannot catapult into something else. So I would go in with the mindset as to, I can add value to this business, no matter what it is, whether just me showing up is me. You understand? And making yourself relevant, going the extra mile. And that's before it was an employer's market. Take the initiative, just go. And I think I was so excited to get back to work that you're just willing to just do anything for anybody, right? Just to make their experience even better than it was before, because there are some uncertain times right now. And I think going in with an open mind, I mean, really open, because you might have to do some things that you wouldn't have necessarily thought you'd be doing, but just being grateful and appreciative. And I think that right there is the best advice I can give, that just don't sell yourself short when it comes to what it is that you're going to be asked to do around this time.
I agree. I love the advice that you're giving. It is about showing up. Do not let that experience, whatever it is, define you in that moment. We all started, as we started our conversation today, we all started somewhere. And yes, we have to take a step back because we may not have the employment that we had had a couple of months ago, but it's not going to be forever.
No.
And you can build from there. It's about what can you do now to be gainfully employed and to be productive right now, and use that to move on to your next thing, right? For those of us who are experienced, we know we've done it before. We just didn't expect to have to do it again, if that's what you have to say.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, even when we opened up Allure, my business plan did not have a recession in it. So we've constantly had to reinvent the wheel, you know what I mean? And make sure, what are we going to do to get clients to come and see us in these uncertain times? And it's the same thing kind of happening right now. People are not really sure of what's going to happen next. So we have to make sure that we are relevant, whether you think that you are doing someone a favor. At the end of the day, the world's round. So we all help each other out. And it's important to make sure that you stay kind, you stay open, and you stay willing. And I think that's when you get the blessings coming back to you. What you put out definitely comes back.
I think I want to end it on that note right there. I think that's perfect advice you can give. Thank you for talking with me today. I appreciate your journey. I appreciate what you've had to share. And I hope we can have another discussion, because you and I talk all the time. And
yes,
I love when business people give or share advice and guidance. And we talk about the type of employment issues that one could have and how we can answer that. So
yes.
Send an invitation to you to join me again sometime in the future, and continued success.
Thank you. Same to you, honey.
Thank you. Well, I hope you enjoyed my conversation with Tasha. Such an interesting journey to hear about how she was an apprentice in high school, working at Eden, and then going away to school, coming back, and years later, opening her business and being in business for 12 years and still growing from strength to strength. And as she mentioned, never thinking to put a pandemic or recession in your business plan, and how do you pivot from that and continue to grow? Well, she's done that by following her faith in God and how she relies on that faith to get through the difficult times. And also providing great customer service and thinking about the students that she also teaches and provides advice and guidance to. I really enjoyed our conversation. And again, I hope she will come back and share more of her experiences with us. Thank you for joining me today. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I hope to see you soon.